All right, pre-show shenanigans. Big news in the sports world this past week. It is June 12th as we're recording. This is going to go up on June 13th, and we are very, very quickly approaching America's birthday, July 4th, the day that every man, every American looks forward to watch their favorite sporting event of the year. The hot dog eating contest, of course. That's what I'm talking about.
Now,
here.
quick side, I know this did not happen on the 4th of July, but while you were just bringing up the 4th of July, I immediately thought of the Kevin James NASCAR opening. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engine. Yeah.
Now, if they had the what's
Daytona 500 on 4th of July?
Daytona 500 on the 4th of July with a hot dog eating contest, that might be the biggest American sports day.
I would say if they had that and the Masters all on the 4th of July, it'd be the most American day ever.
To have the most American day ever, you would need the Daytona 500.
Baseball's already going on, so
you need the Daytona 500. You need a Yankees-Dodgers matchup.
Or just all rivalries. So give me Yankees, Red Sox, give me Giants, Dodgers, give me the beef.
You need all that on. You need the hot dog eating contest. And then, of course, you need a golf tournament going on, too.
Actually, okay, now I think Masters actually wouldn't be the best. The U.S. Open would actually be more American than that. Masters is a global thing. Not necessarily just American. It is American.
Or you need Pebble Beach.
American. Don't get me wrong.
Pebble Beach would be
some tournament at Pebble Beach. Yes. That would be as American. And the NFL's on. I don't know how, but it's just on.
You get some football.
Trust me. If the ratings are good enough, they'll do it. They'll find a way.
Unfortunately for America.
Random 4th of July just for 2 teams. That's your week 1 game.
That's the Hall of Fame game, actually. That's what it
counts. It counts for that one counts. Fantasy drafts have to be done before the 4th of July.
But Grant, unfortunately, America has suffered a great casualty on this day. The first casualty that it has ever suffered in about, I don't know how many years, 200, 300 years.
I'd say there's been a few casualties in the past 200, 300 years in American history, but
on July 4th, besides JPP fingers, all right, besides his fingers, I'd say this is the next greatest.
You make one quick Google search. I hope you're right, but
I did not fact check this. The unnamed intern did not give me facts for this.
All right, just keep on talking.
But
I haven't found anything warranting cutting you off yet.
We better stop before you find something.
Keep on going. Nope, you're good.
Joey Chestnut has been banned from the 4th of July Nathan's hot dog eating contest. This is an American tragedy. This is a travesty to the 4th of July, to every American household across the nation.
I would say there's a few guarantees every 4th of July. First guarantee, you're going to see some great fireworks. Wherever you are, anywhere in the US of A, you're going to see some great fireworks on 4th of July. Number 2, at minimum, the constant smell of a barbecue going on will be occurring during the daytime.
Oh, yeah.
That's step 2. There's been a couple of 4th of July's where maybe I'm posted up, maybe just on vacation or something, and not quite the barbecue party atmosphere, but everyone else has one going on, so you will at least smell that barbecue scent. And then last up, we all gather around 9 a.m. Pacific time to watch Joey Jaws Chestnut dominate, eviscerate, blow the competition away. We did this last year. I'll need to look it up. Maybe I could quickly find it in my notes, but I'm pretty sure the average margin of victory for Mr. Joey Jaws Chestnut is 15 to 25 dogs. He essentially clinches his yearly ring with 4 minutes left. And then he turns it up an extra notch because now he's just chasing his own records. He's racing himself. Like he
Yeah,
understands the competition can't compete. So
there's
he's like, I'm fighting myself.
Nothing more patriotic than watching Joey Chestnut just pound 64 hot dogs in under 5 minutes. Nothing more patriotic.
I'm trying to find my note on it from last year, but I cannot find it.
Look, so here's the deal. Joey Chestnut banned from the hot dog eating contest over beef about his now sponsorship with the vegan hot dogs, which, by the way, tough one for an eater. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Also, if you're Nathan's, if you're the MLE, that's Major League Eating, by the way, for those who are not aware.
How do you not ink that man up to a lifetime deal after the second?
So by the way, he made a deal with Impossible Meats or whatever the brand is.
Yes.
For their vegan hot dogs. Subsequently,
16 rings, Everett.
Greatest to ever do it. Greatest to ever do it. Subsequent, he is on the Mount
17
Rushmore.
attempts.
He is next to Secretariat on the Mount Rushmore of goated athletes.
Right there.
Right there.
I can't say past Secretariat; those records still stand, but he's right there.
He's right there. But banned directly after that came out.
While you bring it up, I think we may need to address the Secretariat steroid.
Was he juicing?
Well, here. We got to remember the era that this happened in, okay? It's not exactly confirmed, but extremely, extremely likely that Secretariat was juiced up. Like 4 horses, the number one giveaway is Enlarged Heart, and
it was the roided era of horses. It's the same thing as the 2004 MLB season. All right, you got to play with the era. You got to play with the era.
This is the other thing about that era. Secretariat was along with the other 95% of horses who also died with enlarged hearts that raced in that era. So sure, maybe
it's just like Reggie Bush's
Secretariat's
right?
records, maybe they would not quite hold to this day, but also a little birdie told me that steroids are still just as commonplace today in horse racing.
Oh yeah,
are you kidding me?
Baffert horse got banned for using them and winning.
Horse racing is literally the most
a couple
degenerate, random shit. I mean, you are betting on a horse. Shit, what if they just see a carrot in the stands and they're like, well, all this training we've been doing, carrot guys. I don't know, there's no guarantee here. There's no certainty.
Hey, what I will say, let's just say in the hypothetical world, it's an even playing field. They're all juiced. That means if they weren't all juiced, Secretariat most likely still wins the same amount because it's still an even playing field.
The one thing that I will admit is the record still standing today. Maybe they wouldn't be holding, but I don't care.
Hey, I think it still would. It's
you
just
have to consider the growth of horse racing analytics, how the StatCast era has came in, the removal of the dead ball, and all these other factors.
They brought in VAR, right?
So many things have been introduced into our sport. So there's so many factors.
But back to the American sport, hot dog eating. All right. So obviously after the Impossible Burger deal came out, Joey Chestnut was subsequently banned. Then it came out.
By the way, we do not co-sign.
No, we do not.
Deal.
We do not. No, we were not involved in that
Jaws
deal.
In that venture. No.
But then it came out, by the way, that Nathan's Hot Dog has an agreement in place with Impossible Meats, with Impossible Burgers. I feel like this is an inside job. They're upset that Joey Chestnut has held the title for too long.
I was not aware of this arrangement made behind the scenes.
I saw this the other day.
I'm going to make a quick search with Impossible Nathan's.
But America has not lost yet, Grant. We might have lost on the 4th of July this time, which is unfortunate.
Everett, I have an idea. Okay. Like the commissioner and all other professional sports leagues, and I'm referring to the MLE Major League, of course. When we look at Roger Goodell in the NFL, we look at Rob Manfred in the MLB, we look at Adam Silver in the NBA. I was going to list off the hockey commissioner, but we all know I have no idea. But these commissioners in these great American sports, their job is to raise the value, not the average value of all their franchises, but the value of every single individual franchise. in their sport. That is their job. That's their role. That's the only job description as commissioner. So with that in mind, I think there's a chance that the MLE might be doing the only thing they can do to grow the game. Joey Jaws Chestnut has shown year after year he's unbeatable. The only time he has been beaten is when he was going through a tough breakup right before, and I'm pretty sure he withdrew. I don't think he competed, or actually he did. He lost to Stoney. I remember. And hey, we all know how legendary Matt Stoney is. We've all seen minimum. We've all watched at least 10 hours of Matt Stoney eating challenge footage. At least 10 hours combined. It didn't have to all be in one
physically
sitting.
Possible that he buys from one restaurant.
We've all watched Matt Stoney eating
that.
challenges, and just keep in mind, Matt Stoney could only take down Jaws one time. When Jaws was literally had everything possible preventing him from taking down those dogs that year.
We might have lost this 4th of July. Still wasn't to the British, but we did lose. We did lose this 4th of July.
This may be the most entertaining hot dog eating competition.
But here's the issue. Everybody watches it for Joey Chestnut. It's tough. Remember last year? Also, absolute disgrace that Joey Chestnut's potential final 4th of July hot dog eating contest was last year when it got delayed multiple hours and subsequently almost canceled.
I remember. Oh, the freak out. Remember how pissed he was?
And he was the only reason why it almost. He was the only reason why it almost came back.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This may have been 2 years ago, but I remember someone tried to like streak in the middle, and Jaws just put his dog down and choked the dude out on stage, and then still won.
Ago.
Oh, yeah, I think
it was 2 years ago.
That just showed you Jaws was like, do not mess up my day. This is my day.
But last year it was raining and it got delayed, and Joey Chestnut, it was the meme. He was walking out like he was like, let's fucking do it. Let's just do it. Let's go. And I mean, he was the only reason why, it actually might have went on. But Grant, we might have lost this 4th of July. However, America has won on September 2nd. Because Joey Chestnut has a rematch scheduled with Kobayashi to settle the greatest competitive eater of all time debate.
Now, okay, if I remember correctly, there was
to settle who is the glizzy goat, Grant.
If I remember correctly, there for a extended period of time, while both men were at the peak of their careers, Kobayashi was signed to a competitive eating organization, a league, and that league could not reach an agreement with MLE on some type of revenue share for a potential one-on-one competition. This has been and by we I mean a collective world. This isn't just US. We are now involving our Japanese MLEs into this discussion. And when we now look at it from this angle, Kobayashi now finally, being out of his contract with his initial league, now having the freedom to participate in this global event. This is way bigger than Logan Paul Mayweather or Logan Paul Tyson. Or Jake Paul Tyson. Holy shit. Way bigger than that. That thing, I'm pretty sure, is getting canceled. Speaking of canceled fights, yeah, we all knew McGregor wasn't going to fight. Yeah, that McGregor's not.
That's wrapped.
When I heard that like 3 months ago, I was like, guys, you know how much money he has? There's no way the UFC could give him enough payday to train and shit. If the fight is happening, he's not training. We saw it in the video the other week of him partying, which also, by the way, planted video. That was at McGregor's bar. It seemed to me like he was promoting his bar, but whatever.
We have quite literally, not even literally.
You got me really excited. I actually did not know they were going to compete.
Greatest matchup debate settler.
Oh my god, it's literally Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. It's on Netflix.
This is going to be the most electric pound for pound match that you have ever seen, Grant. That the world has ever seen.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Jaws's record is 70. Sorry, Let me put some respect on his name. It was 75 COVID year, but COVID year didn't count, so we had to do 76 in 2021 to stamp it. But 76 dogs, 10 minutes, Everett. I feel like we definitely asked each other last year, how many dogs could you take down in 10 minutes? I don't think that's the best way to phrase it. I think it's funnier to ask, how long would it take us to eat like 4 to 5 hot dogs?
I think I could probably get through 2 in about 4 minutes if I'm like pushing it. Yeah. Maybe yes. 3. Maybe 3 if I'm like really like if that's like no water.
I think
four is like a no water situation.
Take down 4 in 10.
I could probably, if I had water and all that stuff, and the gag reflex was not there.
You have all the equipment necessary.
I can get 4 down and I could probably do 1 a minute if the gag reflex is not there.
No, like you literally have like an XL big gulp from 7. That's how much dunking area you have. All right. That is not a problem. Not a problem.
I think I could in 10 minutes.
Yeah. 10.
I honestly, sure. I don't think I'm getting to 10. I think I tap out at like 8.
I don't
maybe 7.
In the 10 minutes, I know
after those first 4 hot dogs, I'm going to be in so much pain. Like I'm not going to want to keep going.
You're going to be in a world of hurt. No, yeah, and it's also like, if you went full all out, dunk the whole thing in there, like taking a big sip of water, take it down 2. I bet you could take those first 2 down. And I'm just generalizing.
Hey, people forget though, water's taking up space too, though. So got to do the math here.
And with bread,
got to do the math here.
Stands a little in that stomach. Mm-hmm, so I think in theory you could technically take those first 2 or 3 down.
Now the unnamed intern. The unnamed intern might be going for like 25 though by 10 minutes. The unnamed intern might be pounding those.
Yeah, after a recent experience with the unnamed intern, I'm not sure if he could get to 25, but I think he could easily destroy double digits. I'm talking, I would set the line at 13 and a half, 14 and a half dogs.
I think I'd take the over on that.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'd smash a 13. I don't think he'd put up like 17. Like, come on, that'd be Steph Curry.
No, but like guys. A 15. A 15 is in the
definitely in his range. Definitely in his skill set.
Yes.
Yeah, he's definitely capable.
The preparation needs
comes down to the mental
there.
aspect.
If he does have the mama mentality in the training, I think 15 is there. However, if he comes out slow though,
what is like the, I'm trying to think, you just have to have that hungry hippo mentality, the board game. You just gotta be keep on eating. No stop.
Give me that Scooby-Doo appetite. That's what I need.
Yes. No, yeah.
That's what I need.
I'm talking an animated character appetite where there's a massive plate taking up an entire table and they put the whole thing down their throat. And you could see the outline of the whole dish in their neck and then right down. And then it's just like Daffy Duck just going on with his Thursday afternoon after that. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the pre-show. Unless you got some more off of that. That was that was pretty wild one. But we do need to address what went down with Jaws. We're only 3 weeks away from the 4th.
I think it's like 2
around that
two and a half,
maybe 3.
2.5
pretty
weeks.
Close. Yeah, it's coming up here. And also with the 4th of July, of course. MLB All-Star Game. Get your votes in, everybody. Vote Gavin Lux for the All-Star Game. We can do it, LA. We can do it. All right. I was looking up. If you just sort by National League second baseman, Lux is like last in every single category. So funny. But yeah, that's gonna do with that. But without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 230. The NBA Finals are essentially done. We got a big golf tournament this weekend. Shout out Scotty Scheffler. Pretty sure he has the best odds, and I mean that largest favorite.
Well,
most negative odds since Tiger a while ago.
Scotty Scheffler is doing things that people haven't seen since Tiger was kind of in his prime.
And like we mean that on
Both in
on
both
the
aspects,
course
and both
and off the
both and
course.
off. Yes, both on and off the
I was about to
course.
say on the field. I was like, nope, that's not the term. Yeah. Yeah, on and off the course, they are getting it done. They are making waves in the golf community.
Now
They're
I will
growing the game.
say, Tiger Woods is also at this tournament, and he also apparently is feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good, Grant. Looking pretty good, and hitting
Like
pretty good. So that is something that we like to hear. Tiger Woods being in making the cut and being in the final round on Sunday is always great for golf and great for America. So hopefully we'll see Tiger in red on Sunday. But we'll have to wait and see. I did hear that these greens are incredibly fast,
very fast.
Sounds incredibly sloped, and just all around not a fun time, as some people would like to say. It's like Ralph from The Simpsons. I'm in danger. Yeah, that's everybody putting this weekend over in was it Pinehurst? So
yeah,
it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Yeah. Now I would give some insight into this tournament, but I can't say I necessarily have any great insight. But what I will say is we're going to get it done. All right. Max Homa is going to win this event. All right.
Oh, you're taking the Homa. Okay.
Max Homa myself to a victory. All right. Max, this is our time. This is our moment to shine and show what we can do. And this is it. This is it right here. All right. LA's finest. We're going to get this done, Homa.
Okay. All right. Okay. But yeah, Grant, why don't we get into the MLB? I know we have some stuff to start with the MLB. We get a little Dodgers talk here going. Okay, over the weekend, all right, there was a report that came out that Yamamoto's agent is reportedly helping Roki Sasaki with his transition to the MLB.
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, Roki Sasaki is the guy. He's like 19, 20 something year old right now from Japan. He's the pitcher.
Like 21, but still.
He is the pitcher that every Dodger fan and the Dodgers have been looking at as one of those it guys for years now. And
at the World Baseball Classic, like him and Yamamoto were like Sasaki was being talked about more than Yama.
Sasaki looked better than Yamamoto. Yeah. This is the guy.
So that helps.
Like if you guys thought Yamamoto was the guy last year, this is like the guy. This is like the guy from Spy Kids that like immediately die. Hopefully he doesn't like immediately die, but like if you get that reference, it's the guy. Okay.
I know what you're talking about. That like unlocked a memory right there.
Yeah. Elijah Wood played him, the guy from Lord of the Rings. Okay. But Roki Sasaki having the same agent, or at least the same agent as Yamamoto helping him, kind of furthers this Dodgers, not ideology, but this need of the Dodgers to get him, and helps the Dodgers be able to get him. So it's not a guarantee, but it is very interesting that at this point in time, that's the situation.
Yeah, and you know what? While I quickly think about long-term Dodger future plans, so right now, okay, the Dodgers, we've got a good amount of starting pitchers locked up for the foreseeable future. So first, obviously, Glasnow, Yamamoto, we all know them too. They're locked up. But also, guys, we do have this other pretty good pitcher named Shohei Ohtani, who will be joining the team next year. So think of that as a free agent pickup. Think of it like that, and that we already paid for. Now I'm sorry, as I load up Spo track over here.
Here's my question that
lags and it just destroys my laptop.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing you move at about 4 frames per second right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this up on my phone.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm curious about. So obviously, like long-term retainers right now, we have Shohei Ohtani, we have Yamamoto, we have Glasnow, we have Bobby, we have Stone. Okay, Kershaw has one more year, but we're not counting that. Dustin May also is the same kind of deal.
Yep.
Well, here's my question.
I would say May coming back.
Which I think he should be a reliever or a long reliever. That's what I've said about Dustin May for a little bit now. I think that would just be better for the team. But here's my question. Obviously, Walker Buehler is going to end up getting a bag wherever he goes. My curiosity is how much Roki.
No, he's not. Walker, we're not going to re-sign Walker. He's not getting no bag.
Well, by like if you look at the pitching market for next year, like he's going to be on the upper echelon of the pitching market, the pitcher market. So here's my question.
I'm just telling you, he will not command.
How much are we going to pay Roki Sasaki in comparison to what Walker Buehler's going to get?
Way more than whatever Walker can get. I don't know. I don't know exactly what Walker like could get, but I would guess like a 1 year 13, 14.
We talking about maybe. Walker here?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're signing Roki Sasaki to 1 year is playing with fire.
No. He's gonna get his deal, but Walker is gonna get like 1 year 11 to 15, I would guess. And I'm basing this off of just other old ass dudes in the MLB and what like we're paying James Paxton like 9 this year.
Yeah, so is James Walker Paxton a 1 year? He's a 1 year. I just had to make sure.
Oh yeah. No. We're not stupid here. We're not dumb here.
Sometimes I do think we are. I never know.
But yeah, no, Walker won't get that much money. But I do think Roki would probably be once again like 300, 350 rank. And it comes down like, do we want to do that? Now, it financially, monetary wise, like, yeah, we could do it. Like Teoscar, it was nice knowing you, but like we could do it. So
we have to is the next question. Which I don't necessarily know if we have to.
No, yeah. Well, I think the key is to monitor. Number one is just monitoring the health of Dustin May, but also just Bobby. Like, if there's any lingering things after this season, like we'll see. We've taken our time. We are not rushing him back. Like he literally got hurt like 2 months ago. Like we are not rushing him back at all, which I like. I want that. I don't want to rush our players back. Like our goal, like we got that guy under contract for like 4 more years, 5 more years. All right. I'm trying to get those 4 years, not just get 2 at the beginning and have him become Walker Buehler. All right. That's not my goal here. I want him to be what Walker was supposed to be until Max Scherzer came along. So like, that's what I want. And at the end of the day, we got to monitor their health. Like if they are not good to go next season and we have a like rotation, we know Ohtani, Glasnow, and Yama, which by the way, them 3, you're already top shit. That 3-headed monster is one of the best starting 3 like pitching rotations already. So it's like it's up to you. Do you want to allocate a lot of your salary to a Roki Sasaki to be the 4 pitcher for the next year or 2, and then he takes over? Or do you want to fix the 7 through 9 hitters that we've been allowing to suck ass for the past 7 years? I don't know. Maybe address that or what?
I don't know if the Dodgers will ever try to really address that problem outside of in-house because that's been what they've been doing.
Well, they also just don't
pitching things
financially have the money to do it. So
the pitching aspect of things, it's a question of where do you think Roki Sasaki is going to be? Because keep in mind the contract we have on Shohei and Mookie and Yamamoto and the length of those contracts. All these other guys are not going to be here for that whole time, right? And Roki Sasaki,
literally, because he's 22, give him like a 17-year deal.
Yeah, if Roki Sasaki has any chance of kind of doing what Paul Skeens is doing right now, or going to be where one of these younger like pitchers are who are good, right? Sign him immediately. Like I don't think that there should be a question about whether or not you should sign him. I think that you should sign him because he could end up taking over.
Reference, if Paul Skeens like just was a free agent and there wasn't a draft and it was like European soccer, like teams would be lining up paying
ungodly amounts of money
or 9-figure from day one before he's even pitched in the league. Like he would have gotten that.
But like if there's, and I'm not saying that Roki Sasaki is going to be on that plane immediately, because if he did, that'd be absolutely incredible. But all reports are pointing towards him being in the upper echelon.
He has high expectations.
Yes, of pitchers that we have seen come into the league in recent memory. And if that's the case, There is no doubt in my mind that you should spend the whatever amount of money you need to get him, because having a good pitching staff, a pitching pen, beats a lot of the offensive things or offensive problems that you need to get. Because what's better than being able to score runs? It's being able to limit runs from the other team. You don't need to score as much. That's kind of,
well, yeah, of course. I would say though, like, you know, it's a different year. We now have an Ohtani in the 1 through 4. All right, you know, JT isn't hitting in the 1 through 4 anymore. You know, we got new faces, but you know, honestly, how this October goes will determine the offseason moves. Because if 1 through 4 this with this team, Everett, if 1 through 4 underperforms and 5 through 9 has better stats than 1 through 4, then I'm just done with this franchise.
look, I said like, if that somehow happens again, I'm gonna be back on my horse of Dave Roberts shouldn't be coaching in the playoffs and their batting coach is just ass. So that's what I said last year, and I said the year before that too.
Everyone's hitting. The balls are dead as shit. Okay, Rob Manfred is not going to let Juan Soto get 500 million. All right, those balls are dead as shit. Okay, all right, no, like dead ass. Manfred is not letting Soto get a 600 million. No, like that's his number one priority. Do not let that happen. So like, hey, league-wide hitting. Hey, last year 1.2 home runs per game. Year before 107. Year before that 1.2. What is it this year? 106. How do you just go from 1.2 to 106 in a year? What did every single pitcher take a lesson on how to add 100 spin rate? No,
Spider tack.
Like they dead the balls, and they've shown this year. There's been a couple of instances where certain hits at specific launch angles and exit velos in past years have all been home runs, and this year pop out to the warning track. So I
will say the amount of warning track baseballs I've seen from the Dodgers this year is so frustrating.
True, but now this one thing, I saw something on this the other day. We just remember when we fly out, you know, like that's just what sticks in our head the most. The amount of times that our pitchers have been bailed out by warning track flyouts that should have been home runs. Oh, I love Chavez Ravine. Well, this is another thing. I actually don't exactly know why, because I immediately thought just like, oh, Dodger Stadium, just compared to other stadiums, I would guess it'd be on the lower side of elevation, but Dodger Stadium's up a massive hill.
It is up. It's on the side of like a mountain.
12th. Yeah, it's a little bit above average in terms of elevation. Yeah. So like, I can't explain why like Dodger Stadium's not exactly the most hitter friendly. I don't know. Pretty sure last week I went over the Guardians thing either on here or to you.
You did. Yeah, you did.
We're no more architecture stadium home run analysis. Done with that. But if there's one last thing I do want to point out about this Dodger team that is kind of interesting me right now. I am really interested to see what we're thinking of doing about Muncy, kind of what's going on that back end of the lineup in terms of short-term 1-year look this season with a deadline coming up in like a month and a half. So like Muncy, he just got shut down indefinitely. No timetable for return. That happened either late last week or maybe early this week. Now Muncy's been out for a little bit here. It's not like
it's that time of the year. Muncy typically takes off about 2-3 weeks.
He's been out for a little bit, and that's a key guy that we're gonna need him back to make some damage. Like I know trust me, the amount of times where he just gets a full count and he's just like, well, let me just put the bat down. We are just not gonna swing and just pray ump calls an edge ball. No, I hate it. It pisses me off. People say like he has a great eye. No,
he does not.
He just converts his approach to I'm not going to swing on full counts. Like that's, in my eyes, that's what it is. But
he gets lucked out half the time.
He is a bat we're going to need. Like he does. Like at the end of the day, playoff games are won by teams who hit bombs, and he hits bombs. And like, I just need one bomb each series out of him. which is
need
not
that funky
crazy to
Muncie
ask.
bomb.
Yeah,
It is what
I
we
just
need.
need one bomb out of you. And but another thing that is exciting me is it's actually a nice, pleasant surprise. Our 6-7 or potential 6-7 for playoffs are looking pretty good right now. I think Teo and Hayward are a phenomenal kind of 1-2 punch in the lineup because you have a choice. Okay, so the lineup will likely be Muncie, Teo, Hayward against righties. I'm talking from a reliever perspective later in the game. You have a choice. You can, and most, I would guess, would say 2 lefties, 1 righty. We're going to put the lefty in. We have 2 win matchups and
Dave
just
Roberts
one
likes
loss.
his left, right, left.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So with the lineup, with our hitters being lefty, righty, lefty, it forces the other team to make a decision. And so like you could give lefty, and then you make Teoscar an all-star level hitter, Silver Slugger caliber hitter, because his lefty numbers are ridiculous. So you can do that. It's up to you. And Muncie doesn't exactly have reverse splits anymore, but the difference is not very,
it's marginal
from righty lefty. Yeah. Hayward against lefties, Hayward might not even be a AA baseball player. He is so bad against lefties. So that there is that. But I pretty much what I'm kind of getting at here is I want as many lefties facing Teoscar as possible in the postseason. We can give him lefties, then he hits like it's scary when he's hitting against lefties. Well, like when he's against righties, he's just a baseball player. When it's against lefties, it's like, oh shit,
right now,
this is the guy that we just paid $30 million to.
Lux is still going to be in that order. The interesting thing though is going to be who's going to be one of those last spots. Is it going to be Outman? Is it going to be Vargas? Is it going to be the Digio, whoever the new guy we just got?
Yeah, we just picked up Digio. For now, the plan is to have him platoon at second against lefties. So he's not going to be playing very much. Think about that. Yeah, like he's here for lefties.
It is going to be an interesting question though, if it's going to be like that last spot, who it's going to go to, because obviously Outman was here, got sent down. I think Vargas now just got sent down.
I think Kike's likely a lock.
Probably, but I think it's still a rotationary spot. But like it's also going to be interesting who they have make that playoff roster.
Yeah,
if
who knows?
If Outman
make another
makes
trade
it,
too.
if Vargas makes it,
the way it's looking at right now, like Vargas, he's been swinging a pretty good bat.
Pages will.
Yeah, we need some work out of him, but like specifically Vargy, like he's been hitting pretty well. All right, like no complaints there, but it's like he gets put in left, so I don't exactly know how he's like playing infield. Like he is a second baseman, but apparently in AAA played some third as well. Now, right now, in theory, with Muncie out, this should be the perfect time. If Vargas was, good enough for it, this would be the perfect time to have Vargas fill in for third. Because he has not played a single inning, not a single pitch at third base, that tells me the Dodgers have zero trust in him playing hot corner. And that his I don't know. This is just me going off of he hasn't gotten one opportunity to play third despite our third baseman being hurt. Based off that knowledge, it seems to me they don't trust him playing third, and he's just not. He's a defense clearly a big defensive liability. And if that's the case, then yeah, like we don't need to have him starting. But also that's the case. Shit, we better hope he plays really well in AAA so we could flip him for something. Because shit, not looking like he has a spot in LA.
No,
it sounds like.
No.
Yeah, I mean the hopes were just so high last season.
They were high.
They were high. Rookie at second, guys. We're going rookie at second this year. It's like, oh shit, oh.
They were high for him and Outman, and then it all fell apart. And then Outman came back, and then fell apart again, and then came back, and then fell apart again. So,
the thing with Outman, it was such an amazing start. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from that. Like last year, he still finished with like a 780 OPS despite his second half, which means if I had to look up his numbers pre All-Star game last year.
Oh, foul! They were gross.
may have been high 800s, maybe even just break the surface of 900 OPS to start the year. But yeah, my fear with just any young guy, and it wasn't specifically something I was like, oh, watch out for Alman. It's just a thing like with rookies. You can come in your first year, kind of have a great start, get really hot. There's not much info on you, and then once year 2, year 3, year 4 rolls around, now the whole league has an encyclopedia of data on you, and they know exactly how to pitch.
What happened with Bobby after a little bit too?
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying, like I saw it happen with Outman. My first example was Jock. Yasiel Puig, it happened with him. The only one that Belly it happened to, the only one it did not happen to was Corey. Unfortunately, though, the fielding was never there, and he never had that. But you know what? It's all right. World Series MVP 2 times. I can't say anything.
Okay, Grant. Let's move on to the NBA a little bit. I know this is all really going to be one segment. The third game of the NBA Finals is playing tonight. My expectation are the Mavs are about to get cooked again, even though Porzingis is not playing.
So well, real quick on Porzingis. I'm not sure if you saw this, but Everett, Shams had a pretty interesting tweet.
I did see that. I did see that.
And you know, this is your field,
a lot of medical jargon in that tweet.
And so I kind of want to explain to you what was going through my mind when I was reading it live, word by word.
Okay, let me just pull up the tweet while you're saying this. I need visual confirmation of what he said.
Yeah, I've got the tweet pulled up right now.
Okay, I have it.
You have it? Okay.
Yeah,
so starting off pretty normal. Celtics, Kristaps Porzingis suffered a torn blank. Okay, we're stop at torn. You know, not, nothing out of the ordinary here. Standard, looking all good. No eyebrows have been raised yet, but it's these next 2 words that get me, Everett. Okay. A torn medial retinaculum. Now, pause after retinaculum, and do not correct me. I want to butcher that word as hard as possible. Retinaculum. Now, when I read retina, I think eye. But when I see torn and medial, I'm like, a torn eye. When I first read this, I thought he may have like cut his eyelid open, scratched his eye, his cornea. But it was the torn that told me that this wasn't an eye. I've never heard of a torn eye. Now, once again, I'm not an expert in this field. This is your lane, but I've never heard of a torn eye. But so at this point, this injury could be, when I hear torn, I could think anything, legs, arms, but the retina makes you think that now this could be anything. I don't know.
I know where this is. Like, that's the funny part. I know where this is.
Well, I got some more context clues that helped me along the line. Okay. We gotta get to the next words.
All right.
Now, suffered a torn medial retinaculum. Now, next part. Allowing dislocation of the, we could just clump this all, but then I need to re-highlight allowing dislocation, because what the hell does that mean? But allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon. Now, tibia gave it away and tendon gave it away. Now, I just put together, I look at it all, torn medial, retinaculum, posterior, tibialis tendon, all that shit together. I just see torn tibialis and tendon. I'm like, something in the leg. That's where all the context clues led me. Something in the leg. But regardless, we have to go back. Allowing dislocation. Now, dislocation, that seems to me like that's a bone or a joint, a dislocated muscle. I haven't quite heard that vocab before. So after I read this whole tweet, instead of limiting down the injury, it opened up the world to what the injuries could be. I had way more questions after reading the tweet than beforehand. He could have just said Kristaps hurt blank.
Whatever part of his body. It just could have been basic.
He could have just put in English.
He's trying to one up Woj now. That's the problem.
Woj is getting in his head, clearly. Clearly Woj has gone in there.
But
Tweets
no,
that
this
shit.
is so let's just drop a little medical knowledge like the water boys do here, right? First and foremost, I am not a medical expert nor professional, so please do not take what I say at its face value. Just have to put a disclaimer, right? You have to put a disclaimer.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure this is in the knee. So medial and posterior are just like the locations in the knee. So posterior is like back, or like anterior, whatever. Anterior, posterior, medial, all that stuff. So it's saying front, back, left, right, side, like up or down. Like that's basically what those words mean.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is like saying it's more so like in the front. The dislocation for this tendon, the way that that's working is like because they're connected, like it all
Yeah.
runs through one thing, right? So if something tears, that connection might allow it to move a little bit. So when you're walking or
Yeah,
doing
I
whatever,
understand that,
that's
but I
this whole
just feel
thing.
like the term dislocate, I just
No,
associate
yeah.
that
Well, it's
with
like
like
here's the thing. Like you can
dislocated
have
finger or
if you're like lifting weights or something, you
yeah.
can have like your bicep muscle just like go from here, just it
Oh,
can
actually,
come
shit.
like
Yeah,
all
I
the
have
way
heard
up
of
here.
that. I've heard of that. Actually, yeah, I have.
So it like same thing with your pecs. Like your pec can go from
Yeah, I've heard
here
of that.
up here
Yeah.
or down here, you know. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
like
actually.
rare. You don't see it that often, especially not with a tendon, but it's possible. And that's probably why
Yeah.
this is a problem because it probably hurts like a bitch. Um
Yeah, I don't expect Porzingis to be playing in the rest of this series. Shout out to him for trying to get back. But yeah, I think you're good. And you know what? I don't even think the Celtics need you, bro. So I think you're okay.
hopefully not. Hopefully they
I don't
don't.
think they need him. Well, this is another thing I was just thinking about though. Porzingis, he will likely just be out for the series. I'd be surprised if he came back. I still think Celtics are more than not likely to sweep. Like at worst 4-1. But I ask you this, Everett. Let's extend the question one more. What if Jason Tatum was hurt and Porzingis was fully healthy? What would the score of that
I don't think Jason Tatum
Mavs
is making
Celtics
that
be?
much of a difference. He's one of the
Well,
worst players statistically in the finals ever.
exactly.
So
So I think actually adding Porzingis, who has shown that he can score on will when needed. I actually do think that. Well, I don't think any result would be different if JT was out for the series and Porzingis
no, I
was
legitimately,
fully healthy.
honestly, it probably would be better if Porzingis was in and JT was out. Like it might actually be better, because like they got Drew Holiday that can just go right in there. So I'm not really, I would not be that concerned. But Grant,
Yeah, and like Jalen Brown can like at least when he has 5+ feet of space, like I've seen him cross over to his left hand and immediately right back. But like I saw him like dribble
he
once.
tried, he
But like
tried it,
he's
he tried it,
improving.
he tried it.
He's working on it.
Now this gets to the more solemn part of the episode, but rest in peace, Jerry West, the architect of the Lakers franchise, of the Clippers. Well, I don't even know if he wants credit for taking credit for building the Clippers because there's not much there. But at least the architect of the Lakers, coach of the Lakers, player for the Lakers, one of my, if not my go-to guy on 2K if I'm playing against somebody.
Yeah,
Absolute
quick sign out. When you
OP
told me
guy
that,
there.
I was shocked. I'll be honest. When I heard that, I was like, first, um, I've never heard you even mention 2K since probably since Anthony Edwards was probably a sophomore in high school the last time you mentioned 2K to me. So that was the first one.
You forget
Uh,
Anthony Edwards is like our grade or a
no, I
grade
know.
level.
I'm
So
saying I know. I'm saying like it's been like 6-7 years. Kind of hit that right on the nail. But Jerry West specifically, Jerry West. Yeah, pour one out for Jerry West, folks. Pour one out for Jerry West, Laker legend, not only while playing but also as an exec. But we're a quick little run through of Jerry West's career because it is fascinating and very interesting. And as Laker fans, we find it a little bit more interesting. But just even in general, just knowing his background as a player, getting destroyed by the Celtics, winning that Finals MVP when they didn't win it, like all these iconic moments.
By the way, might be one of the only players ever to win a Finals MVP
he might
and lose, or just an MVP
of
of the title game in any sports and lose.
Yeah, like honestly, there's not many. Yeah, it's okay. Yep, no, he's the only one ever to win it on the losing team.
He's the logo for the NBA.
Yeah, for a reason. For a reason. But Jerry West, like in terms of looking at basketball, as a, I don't know, company, organization, brand,
business,
like he went through all roles. He did it all, and he was great at all of them. Well, except maybe not the coaching part, but he served in all roles.
Fantastic as an executive.
Yeah. So we're primarily about to dive into the executive career here, but he started off right after he finished coaching and pretty much just like, I'm done with this. No, this is ruining it. This is destroying me. I can't keep.
Yeah, the Celtics were not making him too happy.
So yeah, after he stopped coaching, he became a scout for the Lakers, and then eventually their GM. But he played a large role. I was going to say responsible for, but he was not the GM at the very, very beginning. So he was not the person who drafted Magic or
well, there was an ownership flip there that happened right at that time.
But he played a role in creating the Showtime Lakers, or at least sustaining that dynasty when he did take over as GM, like in their second ring season. Yeah,
I think it was during the first ring season. He took it mid first ring season, I'm pretty sure, like during that year.
I was looking up, not quite, but he was there for at least 4 of them. But still, he put the supporting cast around the big 3 at the time, Magic, Kareem, and Worthy. But later on, okay, now this was very interesting. Okay, now Lakers, they fell off the cliff during the 90s. They were awful. But Jerry West was the man who traded Vlade Divac for one Kobe Bean Bryant in the 98, 8 NBA draft, one of those, I don't know. And he also did sign Shaq and Phil Jackson. So that was Jerry. That was Jerry West. That was all him. But this is the thing. Jerry West, technically, he left the Lakers in 2000. I want to say technically. So he's only credited with just that 99 win. He like left before the 2000 season. So he's technically only credited with one of those rings, but he was responsible for that.
He was the reason why they were in the place to get those other
rings. No. He was like, once he left, the next GM, I don't know who the next GM who took over.
It was not Rob Pelinka, I can tell you that.
Job was already done. Well, when that next GM took over, he was literally just like, okay, I need to surround these guys with Rick Fox,
Derek Fisher.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, not he's not a bum, but Derek Fisher.
But
Meta World Peace.
Yeah. Well,
that was after. Down the line.
You know, it wasn't too difficult of a role. You had 3 jobs you had to fill, literally. But after that happened, Kobe, Shaq, and Phil Jackson, the Lakers, he left and he became the GM of another team. Do you know what that team was, Everett?
Clippers? Is it Clippers right after?
Very later. From 02 to 07, he became the GM of the Memphis Grizzlies. And what did the Memphis Grizzlies do in Jerry West's first year? They drafted this guy named Pau Gasol. That begs the question. Did Jerry West know that, hey, once I have assembled Kobe, Shaq, and Phil, now, keeping the Lakers in mind, hey, I know that this ship cannot sink. I know this ship is making it across the Atlantic, all right? Anyone can be GM of this shit. What I need to control now, because Jerry West probably had a hint. Shit, no. Well, he knew. He put them together. He knew that Shaq and Kobe didn't get along. He knew the breakup was inevitable. So Jerry West left LA, went to the Grizzlies. What the hell? For the Lakers, all right? He did it was an inside job. I need to go get Kobe's next duo, all right? Because I know Shaq won't be here long. So he left, went to Memphis, and got Pau Gasol. Now, Pau Gasol, technically, when Pau Gasol was traded to the Lakers, Jerry West was technically not GM at the time. Technically wasn't.
That's even.
But for the sake of the story, even more, he was.
But Grant, that's even better, because you know what immediately happened. He probably wasn't the GM. He called the Lakers like, they're not doing anything with Pau. You guys can get him for nothing, and he's disgusting.
That makes way more sense.
He was sitting there. He was. I shouldn't use the word grooming. He was scouting for the Lakers.
Developing. He was getting him ready.
Yeah, that's a better word. Developing
for LA. Getting him ready for the Starlight.
Yes.
But when I saw that, I was like, shut up. Jerry West is so literally unbelievably connected. But this is where it gets very interesting. Considering that you immediately said Clippers afterwards, I'm gonna go on a limb and say you have no idea what I'm about to tell you. But in 2011, so 4-year hiatus, 2007 to 2011, was not a formal GM or executive role. He was 1,000,000% though, like the #1 advisor for the Lakers at the time. I bet, like literally what you just brought up right there. 100%. He is Mr. Laker without question. He was essentially the assistant exec.
Yeah, 100%
for the Lakers at that time. But 2011, he took over another franchise, actually in the Pacific Division. They had this really undersized point guard,
Warriors,
bad ankle issues, getting hurt a lot, and they had this pretty good shooting guard named Monte Ellis. He took over the Golden State Warriors 2011.
Yeah, I forgot Bob Myers was like his understudy.
So in 2011, the Warriors drafted this guy, Klay Thompson. Kind of a reach, honestly, for a lottery pick. I definitely wouldn't have gone with him if I were drafting there. But he had a pretty good career. And then the next year they drafted this second round pick, really shitty offensive guy, but some guy named Draymond Green. And yeah, that's what Jerry West did. And then in 2016, Draymond was the #1 player in the Hamptons 5 when they got bounced by LeBron. When they choked a 3-1 lead, he immediately went to the locker room, called up KD crying. So that was the main reason he came. But Jerry West was the second reason KD went to Golden State. And so, in retrospect, well, then afterwards he became Clippers GM. But
I feel like Bob Myers gets a lot more credit for that team though than Jerry West does. So
yep, he does. Undeserved credit, but now he's what? Not
Washington
GM, but like assistant
Commanders.
GM for the Commanders or some shit. I don't know what the role is.
Executive advisor or some shit.
He's doing literally what Jerry West did for those 4 years.
No, 100%.
That's essentially what his job is, like actually. But then he became Clippers GM, but we can't blame him for that. Nobody can.
Hey, he did the job. He got pandemic there. He got Kawhi there.
Well, actually, yeah, that too. But it's like, I'm like that Clipper shit, like that shit is hard to manage. Like
the funniest thing, by the way,
that's not easy to do.
I have seen. So obviously, I know you saw some of Winning Time. I watched all Winning Time. Yeah, if you guys aren't aware, Winning Time, HBO Max, like highly produced series about the Lakers, right? About the Lakers dynasty in like the 80s.
It's also, I mean, for reference, the discrepancy between the Lakers and Clippers. Lakers HBO Max show prime time.
That's what I'm getting at.
Clippers on Hulu Plus
with actors that do not even look remotely like the players that they are supposed to be playing.
And there were a couple of bad castings for Winning Time, if I remember correctly. There were a couple that was like,
a little
off. But like, I mean, the castings they had for Clippers one is hilarious. The guy who's playing Doc Rivers literally said, "I did not know who Doc Rivers was before I got this role. I got this role. My agent was like, "Oh, we have a part for you playing Doc." He's like, "Who the hell is Doc?"
Blake Griffin doesn't remotely look like Blake Griffin. Steve, actually, the dude who plays Steve Ballmer is like not that bad. Not that bad. Everything else is bad.
Pretty easy role to play.
Yeah. But it's just great. It's like supposed to highlight. They're like, they looked at what the Lakers did. They're like, oh my God, like, let's do this. Like that was so successful. Let's highlight like the the issues going on, the turmoil inside the Clippers organization, because like that's what everybody's known for. And now not only did they do that, but they did it in such a horrible way that they're being made fun of for doing that. Like that's just the great part.
No, yeah, like if you're gonna give me a docu series of a sports team over a period of years, like, and in the NBA, like you already got The Last Dance, so that's already out of the way. Like, if anything, shit, show like this isn't even a team. Like, show me David Stern's boardroom leading up to the frozen envelope. Okay, I'll watch
Oh
the
my
shit out of
God.
that docu series. And
The
Tim
next,
Donaghy
I
gambling.
think
I'll watch all of those.
we are supposed to be getting a Kobe Bryant kind of Last Dance docu
Oh, I
series
think
thing.
I heard that. I think I did hear
I
that.
think we're supposed to
I
be.
heard there's another big time friend. I don't even know what sport,
I
but
don't know what it would
some
be.
other
It would have to
big
be with like
behind the scenes, like
it would
last
have to be
season
like
we're filming.
Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade, Bosch, LeBron. Like that's
No,
what it would
yes,
have to be.
let me try to find
Like
it.
I don't
It's
know what
something
else it would
of
be.
that
I don't know.
magnitude. It's
I don't know what else it could be, because if it's not the Lakers with Kobe Bryant, Shaq, or whatever, or Kobe Bryant and Powell, like I don't. The next thing would have to be either the Warriors or the Heat. Nobody would really care about a Tim
no,
Duncan
yeah. I'm trying to
Spurs
find. No,
one.
I agree with you.
Like
I just remember he. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I'm not gonna find it right now. But
give me a behind the scenes for the decision though. Like that would also be pretty good. That'd be pretty funny.
yeah, the whole time it was like I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just immediately thinking agents here. And what if the whole time it was just like Rich Paul was just like, yeah, I'm just waiting to once D Wade signs my client that we're going. But unless he does that, then we're not like I'll be honest. I did hear something the other day. It was a Alabama message board forum page. It was one Alabama fan kind of going after Saban for his final 3 DC hires at Bama. And he said something that was extremely interesting was all 3 defensive coordinators that Saban hired at the end, all 3 of them were represented by the same man that represented Saban.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just interesting. Interesting. Just interesting. Just interesting. The whole time Saban's agent was the one doing all these coaching moves.
Saban had nothing to do with it. Really, what it is it's like Saban are those high profile guys getting their agent like people as like, hey, you want to come play for Nick Saban or you want to coach for Nick Saban? Here's the deal. You got to take on my agent, or you like as a player, you got to take on my agent, right?
No, yeah, well, that seemed like it, but like we're talking been clients of that agent for a while.
Like they've been
Alabama came not yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, never a bad thing though to have your agent be the one who's managing those kind of guys.
It's not like shit. If I hey, this is just in general. I was about to say every head coach, they already have a coaching staff, but still they've got a backup replacement in mind. Every young up and coming, like hot named OC or DC right now, like flirting with a head coach gig, every single one of them has a fucking contact list, like probably 3 names deep for each position coach of who they would hire immediately to come with that. Like they already know exactly who their staff is going to be for the most part. I would say though, if you league for long enough, like Belichick, you have such a large tree that you just have so many reference points and connections that like you'll always have someone. But my example is like Missouri. If you're an Eli Drinkwitz right now, like a bit of a younger name, like not exactly the same established career, like for him, like I would love if my agent knew a shit ton of different coaches or was working with a shit ton of different coaches, so I have access to that list. You know?
Oh no, yeah, 100%. Okay, unless you have like something that's really pressing in college football or the NFL, we might wrap up here in a second because either your computer is working like a toaster right now, or my Wi-Fi is pretty bad, and we do not need another unreleased episode like the Miller Moss Lost episode. So
I'll be honest, after recent memory speculation, I would say it's majority my laptop, but your Wi-Fi is also in question too.
The Wi-Fi
is also in question.
The Wi-Fi at the house that I am at compared to where I was in New Orleans,
yes,
substantially worse.
Ridiculously noticeable drop off. It's
it is way worse here. So, but yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett's Takes and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We also post on Instagram and on TikTok every week, so make sure to follow us there for exclusive content. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboy's out.